it looks like he has lost the dressing room to me, right? I don't know how he can recover from that. If FSG sees this, and there is only one way forward. If Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are
Yes.
not renewing the contract, I don't see like why they have to keep Slot for another underwhelming season. See,
I kind of agree with Salah. Uh, these things, I mean, and Salah, whoever gives their blood and soul to Liverpool, there should be emotional connection between it, and that's why Gerrard supported Salah, because Gerrard understand what does it mean um, to be a player in such a situation where the club is losing the identity and he cannot do anything about it. Gerrard was in that position, was in his shoes. I don't know how Carragher is supporting Slot. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he's just trying to give a different perspective. But when Gerrard supported Salah, that was it for me. That was it for me.
Slot's position is untenable at this point. Like he needs to go. If I were him, like after what Salah posted, like if he has some sort of self-respect, like he will leave by mutual consent, while he's has a decent record in Premier League, like winning a title and then finishing in Champions League places. He can still go manage Ajax or any other big team who. Hey, welcome to another special episode of Giant Clean Sheets. After the bombshell news over the weekend from tweets from Salah and Curtis Jones and the things, the fallout from that, we called upon this emergency podcast to record our views on Salah and Slot. Before we get into this video, do like, subscribe, and comment on the things we post in YouTube and in Instagram, and follow us. That will help us greatly and encourage us to do more contents like that. So let's get into this special episode. So Salah over the weekend, and I quote, posted on the social media, I have witnessed this club go from doubters to believers and from believers to champions. It took hard work and I always did everything I could to help the club get there. Nothing makes me prouder than that. Us crumbling to yet another defeat this season was very painful and not what our fans deserve. I want to see Liverpool go back to being the heavy metal attacking team that opponents fear and back to being a team that wins trophies. That is the football I know how to play, and that is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good. It cannot be negotiable, and everyone that joins this club should adapt to it. Winning some games here and there is not what Liverpool should be about. All teams win games. Liverpool will always be a club that means a great deal to me and to my family. I want to see it succeed for long after I have moved on. As I have always said, qualifying to next season Champions League is the bare minimum, and I will do everything I can to make that happen. And Curtis Jones posted, thank you for your continued support in a disappointing season. It's way off standards expected at this football club. Okay, that's a lot. And Salah did post it after our defeat to our Villa game, and we just have one game left in the season, and it looks like it's a pretty important one, depending on the results tomorrow in the game between Bournemouth and Manchester City. So when we saw it, what was your first reaction, Vince?
Yeah, I think Salah basically said what we all thought. Like we were keep saying about it for the entire season, and it came from Salah. So I think he's the only person who can actually say it. He's been with us for like 9 years, like consistent with us, right? And whatever he can say it. And what basically I think it's more than like a Salah with a slot. I think like Salah with slot Edwards and Hughes. He is questioning everyone with his tweet. What I understand, right? He is been disappointed with I think a couple of things. So one thing, I think he personally is not happy with the players that we sold. Like he looks disappointed that Nunes and Diaz was let go, and Trent, like he like we tried to sign in up, but so that is one disappointment. I think he's also disappointed with the players that we bought in, and when he said that the new players arrived, it's not always needs to keep that standard. What I understood, it's like he is kind of disappointed with new players. Basically, what I'm thinking is like the new players are good, but whether they have that Liverpool DNA, whether they are ready to do that extra work, extra hard work, rather than just being fancy here and there, who does not understand what is to be mean to play for Liverpool. So that is like second thing I think. And the third thing, like the entire season we were talking about, what is our identity? We are not good with ball. We are not good without the ball. So that is completely aimed at slot. And I think the fourth one he said is like, I want us to like the counter attacking team, like the like intense team, right? Basically
He said
heavy
heavy
metal team.
metal.
Yeah,
That's Jurgen Klopp.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So he's basically saying that we don't want to have this kind of game where we have the possession but we are not doing anything with the possession. And when we're getting like outrun by the team, that means that we are not hardworking. So I think it is like he seems disappointed everywhere. That's what I understood. It's not just with the slot, but he's disappointed with Edwards management, the new players that come in, the players that we sold. It's complete. It goes a complete roundabout of things that is currently wrong with Liverpool. We keep saying the same thing, right? What we are wrong, and I think the new players, right? Especially the new players. I think he is mentioning that when he comes up, he comes the first season, amount of work that he did. I think he's expecting everyone to do that to reach the Liverpool level, and he's not seeing that. Either it could be in the training, either it could be in the gym, or the day, or it could be the day, like the way they are taking care of themselves with the food, with how they interact with others, and even maybe the social media, how they are handling it. So Salah has set a standards, right? What needs to be there a top player, and when he sees things go around, he is completely disappointed. So that's what I think, and I completely accept with Salah that whatever he said is like 100% true, and he has every right to say it. And I'm sure that 95% of the Liverpool fans, online fans or match going fans, they agree with this statement that we are in like a shambles state now. We are not sure on the future, what's going to happen next. So yeah, I think that's what I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, like we saw, I think there was a fan poll that was taken during the Monday Night Football at Sky Sports, in which like the 94% of our fan base supported what Salah said. So, having said that, what did you think of the timing? Like, we just have one game to go. Does this undermine Slot's authority for the next game, let alone the next season? Um, Another thing I want to say is like, was Salah part of the problem this season? I know we've been pretty hard on him. We expect high standards. Even though his output fell off this season, do you think he is part of the problem he is trying to tell here? Is there any how to say it, like any hypocrisy in his statement? Is he being selfish in saying all these things? Because let me say a few things which some of the pundits said. Neville said like he's on his way out. On the way out, he just pulled the pin on a grenade and threw it in the room and then left. And Wayne Rooney said in his BBC podcast that he's being very selfish and vindictive. And Carragher in Monday Night Football, he said like he does not think it as Liverpool FC and he thinks it's Salah FC and he's being very selfish. And some of the media articles called him petulant, selfish, and vindictive. So these are what the media and the pundits are saying. So Vivek, let me ask you this. Was Salah right in putting out this statement? Was he being selfish? And did it undermine Slot's authority on the team? And now, what happens to our final game? If we are to play for a Champions League spot in our final game, I believe Salah should start if we stand any chance of qualifying for the Champions League. What is your take on these things?
So see, what I think is he. So couple of things, right? One is he could have waited for the after the last game. Doesn't matter what is the result. Then people, the same pundits, would have said, "Why you did not speak earlier?" Right? Why you did not speak earlier? You are on your way out, and now you are saying these things to muddy the water. Right? After you left, you are just trying to muddy the water and putting Slot in a difficult position after a season which could have turned out way different if you spoken out earlier. I kind of agree with Salah. Uh, these things, I mean, and Salah, whoever gives their blood and soul to Liverpool, these there should be emotional connection between it, right? And that's why Gerrard supported Salah, because Gerrard understand what does it mean to be a player in such a situation where the club is losing the identity and he cannot do anything about it, right? Gerrard was in that position, was in his shoes. Okay, I don't know how Carragher is supporting Slot. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he's just trying to, uh, you know, trying to give a different perspective. But when Gerrard supported Salah, that was it for me. That was it for me. Okay. Gerrard is the only player who can actually say that, yeah, during the last 20, 25, 30 years, he's the only player, maybe bigger than Salah, who actually have played part of the success of this club. And so yeah, I don't agree with Carragher. I don't agree with that 6% fans. I don't know how you can support Slot after this kind of horrific season where, one thing is having a horrific season, another thing is having a horrific season after spending $500 million, right? Or 500 billion pounds. And that is the biggest difference. If we did not back Slot and then we had a season like this, I would have understood. I understand that Salah's form was not that great this season. But that started, if you remember correctly, that started from the tail end of last season, right? When I think, if I completely wrong, but I think that from that point onwards, Slot started to put more influence on the team, right? And that's why from that part, our season actually completely, I mean, our gameplay went bad, and then eventually when the season started, everything went bad, right? It's just a downward spiral. It's just like this. There is no flattening up this curve. It is just a downward curve. I have no idea what is going to happen. Hughes, Edwards, it's pretty clear from Salah's post and how the players supported him. Again, as you mentioned, Sheik, it might be a shadow protest as well, but I don't see how it will help in a shadow. I personally don't think it's a shadow protest. One reason, because Salah already said he's leaving. There is no point of backing him, right? If players really are not behind him, there is no point of backing him, right? So that is one thing. They would have like just say, you are just gone after one game, so I'll just stay away from all these things, right? But most of the players actually backed him, so that symbolizes a lot of things. I am hearing from Egyptian media that it might not be end of Salah in Liverpool. If Slot leaves, Salah might stay. And to extend what Jeans you mentioned, it might not be only Slot. It might be Slot, Edwards, and Hughes leaves, then Salah might stay. By this time, Salah would have gone to any club and they would have just taken him because it is free, right? He's gone for free. I think there is a gameplay somewhere happening where Salah is trying to stay in Liverpool, not because he's It does not have any other clubs lined up just because he wants to stay in Liverpool with his family. He wants to retire in Liverpool. I hope in last podcast, Sheik, you mentioned that it's time for Gordon, Mike Gordon, right? The CEO to step in. I'm hearing a lot of news from lot of places that yeah, Mike Gordon apparently stepped in. So hopefully there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That is my only hope.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I share all both your feelings. Yeah, I am with Salah on this. Like, the only thing I was concerned about is like the timing of it. Like, probably he put this out so that the whole team performs well in the final day against Brentford, and then like shows this is a kind of way of motivating things. Salah always does that. Like when we were not performing well in the 20 season, sorry, the 22 season after the World Cup, right? He came out and said like we are not performing well, and I want to get into Champions League, and also on the 21 season during the COVID season, he said like I will make sure that this club qualifies for Champions League, and again the last season of Klopp, he said like I want to win a trophy with Liverpool, and then like he literally carried us to the title last season. Now, in hindsight, seeing slots, tactics, and things like that, it kind of feels like it was Mohamed Salah who took us to the title rather than slots, tactics, right? I mean, any general observer will say that if you take the stats in itself, Salah is pretty much first in every metric you could measure after he joined Liverpool. Not just in Liverpool, I'm talking about whole of Premier League, probably in Europe. He's always been a top five player. Whenever he's had a good season, whenever Liverpool has won trophies, he's always been in top 10 for a Ballon d'Or. And he's that kind of a player. There is actually a thing which says like only Mo Salah has more, right? That's actually a thing. Anybody metric that comes up, any player that's there is some this a stat they put on, they would say like only Mo Salah has more, only Mo Salah has more. So he's that kind of a player. So the standards he set for himself is high, and obviously he will have that kind of ego, right? So it is completely understandable. He has delivered trophies, he has delivered goals, he has delivered assists. I mean, he carried Liverpool, he is carrying Egypt pretty much for his whole career. I mean, he deserves whatever he gets in life, and he has the right to post whatever he posted. And yeah, coming back to Slot's position, like after this, right, in the team, and after seeing like so many people kind of supporting what Salah has posted, it looks like he has lost the dressing room to me, right? I don't know how he can recover from that. If FSG sees this, and there is only one way forward, right? If Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are not renewing the contract, I don't see like why they have to keep Slot for another underwhelming season. See, one thing. Let me just read this out. Like I saved this somewhere. Okay, since this season, right? Okay, so let's compare. Okay, this season we have failed to beat Forest at home, Sunderland at home, Burnley at home, Wolves at home. We've Forest at home, Sunderland at home, Burnley at home, Wolves away, a worst team in the Premier League. Spurs, who were on a who were on a losing streak, no points since January. They came to us and they got a point. Struggled against them away from in the away game as well, even when they had a man sent off. Brentford away, Leeds, we cannot beat Leeds in 2 games. Chelsea in 2 games. United in 2 games. Galatasaray in 2 games. And we faced City 3 times this season. All 3 times they embarrassed us. And Palace 3 times. Right? So it is clear as day. Like if the performance is so bad. And another thing is like this season we have conceded 52 league goals, the most in a 38 game season since 1914. 15. In comparison, Klopp in 2021 with Kabak, Hozan Kabak, Nat Phillips, and Rice Williams for 70% of the season, the rest considered 42 goals in that season. United, Manchester United under David Moyes, he didn't even last a full season. They conceded only 43 goals. Chelsea, they finished 12th in 22-23 and they conceded only 47. We have the same number of losses as Leeds and Sunderland. We have not beaten any promoted teams at home. 1 point out of possible 24 against the top 9 teams away. The most set pieces goals conceded in the league, 20 defeats this season, including 3 to Palace in 3 different competitions. 8 defeats in last 15 games and an aggregate loss of 11-0 to go out of all cups. The lowest XG in a game since 2021 at home. And Slot is yet to win in May, apparently. Last season he didn't win it, and the current season he has not won it. So, seeing all these things, right, we can see Slot has done a bad job. The club is in shambles, and FSG can see this. And now the only thing that was going for him is the dressing room. Now he has lost that too. I don't know what position of authority Slot will be in to start the next season, let alone the next game at Anfield to Brentford. So these are all. I don't know. I don't like this. We were never like this, and we are not. We are not like United, and we don't do all these things. And suddenly seeing this happen kind of feels new to me. And for the past 10 years with Jurgen Klopp, we never hear anything. I don't know. We don't know who we were going to sign. Any rumors, nothing came out of the club. Now it's like all these turmoil and things like that. It feels foreign to me looking at our club. Hopefully, the leadership of FSG sees this. And I think if Slot has to go, Edwards and Hughes has to go as well. And I don't think they should be left alone after we get rid of Slot. If they want to go to Saudi, take the Saudi money and go. Let them go, start afresh, bring someone, appoint Jurgen Klopp as a director of football, bring some new coach. I don't know. I think Mike Gordon has a better relationship with Jurgen Klopp. Now, thinking about all these things, right? I think during those period when Michael Edwards signed all those players, it's not only Michael Edwards. I think I don't know if you remember Ian Graham, like he was the director of analytics at that time. I think he was involved in a lot of data and things like that. Thinking right now, I think Michael Edwards was not the mastermind and probably did all those signings.
Yeah.
Complete my thought. The Slot's position is untenable at this point. Like he needs to go. If I were him, like after what Salah posted, like if he has some sort of self-respect, like he will leave by mutual consent while he's has a decent record in Premier League, like winning a title and then finishing in Champions League places. He can still go manage Ajax or any other big team where the build-up was slow and things
Sheik,
like that.
one thing, I think it's gonna be a fight between Slot and maybe Edwards. If I resign, I won't get the compensation. If they sack me, I will get the compensation. If you are getting 10 or 13 million of compensation, why should he resign? He have to just go, and end of the day, FSG has to, sack him. Then they have to pay the compensation. I think it's all about the numbers game they're playing. But I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see the next game. I don't see Slot is getting any result. Going for the next season, it will be a terrible decision. What United did with Ten Hag and supporting Slot in this position where players are not trusting him, fans are not trusting him, and on top of that, we are ready to put 100 or 200 or 300 million with players already lost the dressing room. So
Right.
it's now situation is like unavoidable that Slot needs to go.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think I'm Slot out. Slot needs to go. Slot out for like 6 months now, and Vivek is Slot out all season.
All
And
season.
Yeah, so it's not like Sly. He was not given a chance to prove himself. You were given a lot of chance to prove yourself, Slot. Like we were the most patient club. You had seen the amount of sackings that happened in the Premier League all year long, from Thomas Frank to Igor Tudor to Liam Rossanar. This is an unforgiving business, and our club has been forgiving to you and offer a lot of latitude to see how you can improve in spite of all those injuries and things like that. There is, I, no, the performance we have seen is not good enough, at least for
Chelsea
me instead of
Chelsea would
owning the
have
club
fired him 4 times by this time.
by this time. Yeah. You 4 times, yeah,
Like
you would
3
have
to
fired.
4.
So yeah, let us know in comments what do you think of this whole saga, Salah versus Lord, which side you're on, and yeah, let us know
Also in
in
the comment, if anyone is like, are you supporting Slot? Just give us the comment like, why are you supporting Slot?
priority
Because I
supporting.
want to understand what is the other aspect. Because all of us, literally all of us are like all Salah, need to know what
Hmm,
is the other side.
right,
Unless like just the Slot is like a Premier League winner, makes sense. But other than that, what do you see?
right. Yeah. All right. So that's it for this video. Like and subscribe and keep your comments coming. Cheerio.